told you about my friend Jasmine. We grew up together, you know, Yasmin, and she came over reading that article I'm writing about the erotic poetry, and we were talking in the living room. I was telling you about that, right? And I was telling you that I was telling her about how I put God into everything that I do, you know, right or wrong. I'm putting God because God is my center point. Period. I can't do right or wrong at all, really. You know, God is your center point. I know I'll be doing some stuff wrong, but, you know, I'm just a person. I'm a man. That's period. So she's like, you know, if your grandfather was alive, he'd choke you and kill you and all that. And I was like, no, I think my grandfather would listen to what I said, read the Bible, and come back and advise me accordingly. I said, that's what my grandfather's always done. I said, and that's where I got a lot of that spiritual, you know, let me go read and then meditate on it, pray on it, and then advise accordingly, you know. So Yasmin's like, let me go read this article. And she read it, she's like, dude, because, you know, she was like, you know, you and your marketing director's right, you're going to have to get bodyguards because somebody's going to kill you. Somebody's going to, one of them fanatics is going to kill you, putting God in the bedroom, talking about article, God in the bedroom. She said, let me read this the massaging article. And she read that. I mean, she was sitting there, she was twisting in the chair, and she read that, and she's like, I don't see anything wrong with that. She said, you never once actually got to the massage. I was like, well, I'm not done with the article yet. She's like, all that part is just explaining how you get to, before you even touch somebody. I was like, yeah. She's like, that's some deep stuff. She said, that stuff is hot. I was like, yeah, because you talking about God. I told you in the article, you know, sexual energy is when it's coupled with love like it's supposed to be. You can't mess with that power. That power will rip you up. Jasmine was just tripping. And I forgot what I was telling you then.
Well, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, see now, doing one of my numbers.
I learned from you. I am your student. Introduce yourself.
Oh, no, you're not a student. This is Lyndal Spirit for Click TV. You about to be clicked again and again.
And please introduce yourself.
I'm Mechelle Tucker, owner of First Class Consultant, known as publicly the Networker's Networker.
Hey, this is such a pleasure. Ricky here with Unique's Multicultural Connection. I'm really blessed. I have the opportunity to talk with two very dynamic, very powerful, very progressive people, and I'm just glad to be able to share this information with the public, because everybody wants to be successful and everybody wants to know what does it take to be one. So I'm talking with some of the most successful people that's in this business, building other people. Lyndal, I'm going to start with you first.
Okay.
Tell me something about your enterprises and where you're taking them.
Oh, man, we are just, we opened up Dream Divinci Records. We got Dream Divinci Films, created the new Dream Divinci Publishing, and moved all our magazines under that title. So, along with the Dream Divinci Media, and we broke it down like that because we're partnering with companies like Google and Nike and Adobe and Sony, which, thank you, Sony, and Sony Japan, and you know, we're moving forward with the Home Depots, and we're just trying to find people that have a general concern for what's being put out in the media. Period. You know, everybody's mad at me because I won't do a tribute to Michael Jackson. You know, and I'm like, you know, what about the homeless guy who died the same day? What about the child who died the same day? What about, you know, the mother that died or the father that died? You know, what made Michael Jackson so special that I got to do a tribute to him only? You know, what about all the people that died that day? That's what I want to know about, is people that are real. You know, not Mike, that Mike's not real, but just real people, and that's what I built my company off of, and it's been tough to maintain that philosophy and maintain that without jumping into commercialism, but we did it, so we're going to keep doing it.
What would you say is the strength of your company?
Well, honestly, it's just God. It really is, because a lot of times, a lot of stuff I do, I look back and say, wow, that definitely wasn't me doing that. But, you know, I think outside of God, period, it's just a belief that you don't have to bling to be successful. You know, there's basic success foundations, and real successful people don't do the things that you see people doing on TV. They just don't do it. You know, they don't bling. They don't go around bragging. They don't drive fancy cars. They actually, most of them drive Hondas. You know, there's some real basic elements to being successful, and so I try to illuminate those, and those have been creating my own success, is illuminating those basic fundamentals that you need in order to obtain the goals.
Go ahead and help you drink there, because I'm going to move right over here to talk to the networker's networker. And I am so excited every time I get a chance to talk with you. You do so much. I am just amazed. Share with me what's going on for First Class Consultant.
Oh my goodness, like where do I start? Well, I actually start at the Wigwam Resort, which is actually where this interview is taking place. Right now, actually, Lyndal Spirit drove into town from Colorado and to actually be here sharing this interview with him is definitely an honor. There's a lot of accomplishment that this collective synergy has been, riding some waves to really get to a point where there was the right timing and the right opportunity. And this is definitely the right time and the right opportunity, which actually July 10th, the Coalition Networking Group, which is a private networking group that I founded. I'm really excited about the opportunities to actually be at the Wigwam Resort. We're going to be at the Red Steakhouse July 10th and every second and fourth Friday thereafter. So that's definitely, the first of many event opportunities, networking opportunities to really showcase what's needed and missing as a link when it comes to connections and relationships, and just like Spirit spoke earlier about connecting with real people, and I definitely felt, a lot of sadness and compassion for Michael Jackson, and I definitely felt, what people are probably taking from his legacy and his experience is just about really people staying real and coming together and caring for each other. And that's definitely a lot of the synergy with Click and First Class, and obviously Unique's marketing, also Multicultural Connections, which is actually owned by Mr. Ricky Johnson, who's actually producing this interview right now. But there's just a lot of awesome stuff that's on the rise. I'm connecting with a lot of strong individuals, on some great levels. There's some things that's happening right now with this shift, this paradigm shift with the internet. So, definitely look out for a lot of things, and definitely check out, Click Internet Television. Everybody has to get clicked. It's definitely the timing and the opportunity, that there's been some groundwork laid out that definitely is ready to really hit the airwaves, and we're not just running, we're flying. We're flying to our dreams, and there's a lot of people that can ride that wave because we're all about the people. And it's all about building the community. So there's definitely some good things that's actually on the rise. I have multiple platforms, that I stand very tall, and I have a very strong belief system about. So there's some things that we're doing to join a crusade, join a movement. Everybody needs to join a movement. There's never been a better time in our history that everybody needs to come together, needs to lock arms, needs to stop being selfish and greedy, and actually, just really focus on how they can create a you and me world, not that you or me world. So that's the new idea, that's the new opportunity, and that's a new platform that we're definitely riding. So we're looking for like-minded people, and we're going to kick off the Coalition Networking Mixer July 10th at the Wigwam Resort. There's a lot more information coming down the pipeline, a lot more opportunities, but this is a collective interview at this point, and I'm just excited and I'm happy to be here with you, Spirit. There's a lot of stuff that you've accomplished and that you're doing, and we're getting ready to connect some major opportunities that I'm feeling great about. So I was sad, but now my sadness is definitely turning to joy, because this is what, I've built my time and my legacies for, to get to these points where I can really make an impact. And I know with this collective partnership, there's definitely a major impact in the story that we have to get out to the people that's hurting. And we're ready to grow some businesses and connect with a lot of people. So you got to get clicked, though. You got to get clicked.
You're going to do it.
And I tell you, that's so exciting. You both are very dynamic people, and you're both getting a lot done. And I feel really proud to be part of this whole process. Tell me something, Mechelle, and then Spirit, you get to think about it as Michelle's answering it.
Okay.
What do you see as the greatest challenge for people today? I mean, the economy's crazy and things just look really bleak for a lot of folks. What do you think, in your experiences that you're dealing with people, what's the biggest challenges?
I think a lot of the challenges really starts with a mindset. I feel that, there's been so much greediness and selfishness and negativity and doubt, that has created a consistency in people's mindset to not believe anymore. And I feel that, another reason why people are feeling so sorrow and sadness for Michael Jackson's passing is because, there was a part of him that created an inspiration, hope, change, in a way that we're talking about. This stems back, to the 80s and to the 90s. And we're in 2009, getting ready to be 2010. You know what I mean? And that's why his message is so much relevant, because people, were programmed to feel certain things, think certain things, and nobody was taught. And it's like a consistent spiral, like a generational curse. But I think there's an opportunity with Obama and obviously people like Michael Jackson that really paid some ways. And when you look at people's legacies and what they can leave, I think the difference is really just the mindset and the support system. And we're dealing with an epidemic. There's a war. There's a war on poverty. There's a war that this is internationally known, that everybody's starting to kind of create openness in their consciousness. And I think it's really all about education and literacy. And people becoming back connected with their community. I mean, I was talking to my neighbor, and that's my first time talking to him. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, people are so bounded by those fears and those skepticisms. And I know the media, there's definitely some power on a positive note, but there's also some negative stuff that people don't have enough common sense to think on their own. So I think that's definitely, a challenge and one of the greater issues, because it starts in your thoughts. And then it goes to what you believe, so I think that's definitely an area that's caused a lot of, pain and discomfort for our world, so I see that for me has been a strength in my brand, and what I'm about, and being an inspiration and motivating and keeping hope alive, and if you don't believe, you won't achieve. So I think, that's an area where people like us collectively are helping solve a lot of problems for a lot of people, both personally and professionally. So I'm excited to see where this journey takes us and how many people we can truly impact and truly help. So I'm kind of getting into more of a humanitarian philanthropy type of walk, but I'm accepting that and I'm okay with that, and it feels really good to really help people. And right now there's never been a time where our energies are needed. So I'm excited.
Now, Mr. Spirit, same question to you, sir. A lot of stuff going on. I know you have a lot of projects that are in motion. But what do you see as the most challenging thing for people now? What are your experience?
Man, challenging is accountability. My whole thing is accountability. And I was just saying that. I might as well just go ahead and use the Ricky show to blast it out to all of y'all. We were talking on the phone, and I said, and I'm really happy you're here, Mechelle. I was saying that the next time I get the chance to speak publicly, that I was going to give everybody the secret formula to success. And I was going to ask everybody to raise their hand that won it, and hold them up. And it'd be like everybody in the room. And I'd say, out of that we're going to use for us quitting these 98% rule. You know, 98% of you will raise your hand. Only 5 of you will try it, and only 1 will succeed.
Wow.
But I'm going to go ahead and still give you this formula anyway. If you're looking at your life and you're not where you want to be, you're unhappy, you're not financially where you want to be, you're just not enjoying your life, period. You know, you're working a dead-end job, whatever the situation is, whatever faults there are that you see in your life, the secret to overcoming that is a mirror. And I want you to use that mirror and talk to that person in the mirror. Because that's who can change it, period. You know, then that doesn't mean that you see a homeless person and you don't give them $1, especially if they're just honest with you, because a lot of them come up like, I need a beer, and well, I just give them $1, you know, he was honest. But it does mean that you make people accountable for their own actions and their own responsibilities, and you know, I run into that more than anything. Nobody wants to face themselves. Nobody. And fortunately, I was raised by somebody who said that you have to take self-inventory every day and evaluate yourself every day. And you know, I deeply believe that 90% of the problems in the world today is because nobody wants to be accountable for anything.
I totally agree.
We don't want to be responsible. We don't want to be accountable. We would rather sit on the couch and let people tell us what we should think about what they told us that we should think, okay? Rather than just be accountable, saying, well, I don't agree with that. So I think, you know, accountability is the biggest issue that we have today. And until we face that issue, we're going to keep tumbling and stumbling around until we say, wait a minute, you know, I need to be accountable for me, period. And that's, you know, I say that a lot in many different ways, and I just feel that, you know, me, myself, I try to illuminate that by being accountable, you know, and take the responsibilities with my position. You know, I built this company, and then I built it up to this media mogul, and then, you know, with that comes accountability, and I have to, you know, a lot of people demanding celebrities, and we're getting some, but that's not what I built this for. And I have to be accountable to myself when I say that I built this for real people doing real things. If I betray that, then we'll just be like every other internet television station out there. And what value would I have for you? So I would say accountability, definitely.
It's so cool. Mechelle, I just, as Spirit was speaking, and I heard you amening you. Okay.
It's true.
Okay, so I take it that
So true.
Part of the challenge then is folks are not accountable.
I agree.
Okay.
150%.
Okay, that's been your experience with folks?
Oh, yes.
I think the good news is that you folks are making a difference. Mechelle, just give me a couple of the projects. You were mentioning something earlier this evening about some young man that you're communicating with. Right. And I've seen the video about this young brother, and I do say he's awesome. So tell me, what do you see going on with that one? And just go into some of the projects. I mean, see,
yeah,
you got your hands in so much.
I know.
Come on, break it down so people. Well, let people know. They don't know. They know First Class Consultant. Tell us about it.
Everybody to know.
Tell us. We want to know. We want to know. We want to know. Tell us, please.
No, I mean, you know, just as a you know, an owner of a you know, a leading consulting and networking and, you know, referral agency, you know, I actually, you know, came with the concept. This was about 3.5 years ago. And obviously the art of networking really wasn't experimented the way that it is now, but I definitely understood the value of relationships. And, you know, that saying 6 degrees of separation is real. It's real. And, you know, I definitely just, you know, always just been, you know, ahead of the curve with opportunities and always being at the right place at the right time, and, you know, definitely come with some background in financing. So I always understood money. I've always said how money works. And I definitely just have been a nucleus, you know, where there's just opportunities have risen, and I'm an opportunist, you know, so I've definitely diversified myself. I understood, you know, not wanting to go back to a corporate job. did that for 10 years, you know, when I was with MCI WorldCom, and I just wanted to, you know, be in business for myself. I wanted time freedom. I wanted to be able to, you know, pay the cost to be the boss. You know, and that definitely, you know, came with a price. But as I actually built, you know, First Class Consulting, I actually partnered with Financial Destination. They're a financial concierge company. So coming from a mortgage background, I wanted to offer a solution to a lot of my clientele. So that has been an amazing ride. You know, FDI is in a position right now where we're looking into going global to 63 countries, August 13th. I definitely had some opportunities to work directly with the VP of Marketing, Jim Ginocchio. He's definitely a seasoned sports commentator on NBC and CNN. So there's a lot of opportunities with that venture that has created a movement, you know, of a crusade to really stomp out financial literacy. And I actually, you know, when I initially got involved with FDI, it was to literally be a customer. I understood that I needed to make sure that I made the right financial decisions, that I had the right people around me at all times. So that's why I said it kind of starts with a mindset. And I've never had a poor mindset. I've always had a wealth mindset. But I understood that it definitely took, you know, some building. It takes a community. It takes support. You know, it takes a village. And it's not just raising a child, you know. So I embarked on that, and obviously we partnered on the wireless, you know, business opportunities. So they're just some fusions. There's a nonprofit named Elite Activity that I've actually gotten involved with that's really creating a movement to end the war on poverty. So there's just a lot of things that's kind of creating a crusader in me, but, you know, I've always been, you know, the person to really care about people, you know, and wanting to see them be blessed and wanting to see them be in a better position. So God just kind of attracted the right opportunities that have really allowed me to be passionate and to do things that I love. So that kind of, you know, brought some good relationships with Dave Mims. Actually, he's a marketing PR phenomenon that's out of Detroit, and his nephew is Jonathan McCoy. And Jonathan McCoy is a 10-year-old. Oh my God, like this kid is really special. And there was a clip, you know, that he actually did on YouTube that has been getting a lot of press. You know, he gave about a 15-minute speech to erase the N-word. But the power, the anointing that this 10-year-old kid and the conviction that he had has kind of created a consciousness with a lot of people. I mean, over 600,000 hits to this day, plus on YouTube. And there's some things, and I'm talking with his mom in talks with her to see how we can just take the timing, you know, of the exposure, the PR. There's a lot of he was just on the Tom Joyner show. He was just on the Jeffrey Henderson show. I mean, there's so many opportunities and individuals that's really waking up to what this young man has to say, and he's 10. So, you know, there's just more things coming down the turnpike. Supposed to be in LA this weekend for the BET Awards, but I got so much business opportunities that's here. Spirit's here till Monday, so I'm kind of just letting the rhythm take me to. But, you know, that's just some good stuff where, you know, that's going down the turnpike, so we're definitely going to be getting it right and getting it tight and really getting ourselves in order to really be able to bring, you know, some first-class opportunities that's going to allow people to get clicked in. And we definitely got some multicultural connections that's getting ready to take us to over 300 countries in the next 60 days. So, you know, there's never been a better time in business for me that I'm just seeing, you know, the goodness of God and who He is in my life, you know, and only what you do for Him will last. And I just don't know, you know, where the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months is going to lead, but my goal is just to touch as many people as I can. And just do the calling of what all of us have inside of us. So, you know, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's a good way to do it.
And Mr. Lyndal Spirit, what are some of the projects you have going on?
Oh my goodness. Well, I say when you want to update on our projects, boy, you better hit one of our websites, because I got so much going on.
Too much.
Most of the time I don't even remember my own name at the end of the day. But you know, we're getting the Godzilla movies, the old Godzilla movies, the karate movies on Click TV. We just got our license back to air music videos, but as well as music through Sony. Thank you again, Sony. And now we're moving on to our we have a Japanese style animation, and which is going to help launch off our Dreamer Divinci films and the new animation channel. And we're going to do a little mini series with a few scripts that I've written. And then we got the Dreamer Divinci Records, which also helps with the distribution, because instead of trying to take over smaller record companies and sign their artists, what we do is we partner with them and help them distribute the music and get it out there. And again, like I said, my whole company exists because there's people out there being abused, and the reason I do exist is to not abuse people, but to make things happen. And so what we've been doing was just really finding large corporation sponsorship to help move this forward and work with us so that we can help get a whole lot of independent artists off of YouTube. I'm sorry, Google, because you guys are my homies, but we gotta, really get the exclusivity of content. And there's so many great artists on YouTube that aren't being recognized because there's no exclusivity, and there's nothing to distinguish them outside of everybody else. You're basically a mesh in the bucket, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just your chances are reduced. So we're really doing a big push on Click TV to upgrade to the more commercial TV look and to make things happen in a way that is going to be beneficial for all parties involved, and not necessarily to exclude any parties, but to help people be more aware of who they are as a person.
I want to thank you for that. Plus, I'm running out of energy here on my little camera. So I want to thank Lyndal, and I want to thank Mechelle. And I know I'll be speaking with you more.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys just keep doing what you're doing.
It was a pleasure.
Okay? And that's it.